Why do women think that the end and the cherry on top of the journey of self mastery, personal realization is a man? Let's dive into that topic. Hello, my name is Joanna Fatonji. I am a certified life mastery consultant, and in my work, I combine neuroscience, skill development, social psychology, and wealth consciousness. And today, I want to talk to you about decentering men. Decentering men in order to fully self realize. Sit back, relax. This is going to be a little bit of an informal one. I want to give personal story plus definitely share with you a few mindset tricks and paradigm shifts, to be honest. So, I am the result of my own personal realization journey. I am the child of a German mother, a Ghanaian father. I have been in two different cultures from the beginning of my life, and I believe that this is already a awareness expander. From the beginning of my life, I had a expanded awareness because I could see into the Western world through my mother, and I could see into the Ghanaian culture through my dad. I lived in both cultures, born in Germany, partly raised in Ghana, then coming back to Germany, international travel, international studies. I later on studied international business, studied in France. I traveled a lot. I wrote a thesis on international business communications and cultural differences. So I've always been studying different paradigms, different mindsets. How do Ghanaians think and act? What's the culture? And how do we do business over here? The same thing about the Western world. What do we think? What are the values? How do we rate different qualities of life? And how do we do business? That's what I studied. Later on, I went into corporate. I then realized that's not really what I want to do. I went into finance, international finance, and then I quickly realized no, I'm called to health. I want to be able to help people really create a life that they truly love. And that's what I do today in my business. And my first attempt or my first um, building block of my service today was becoming a certified holistic nutritionist. So I know a lot about health, about plant medicine, herbs, the gut system, and so on and so forth. Continue to travel, continue to live my life, continue to be an entrepreneur, or started being an entrepreneur. I founded a cafe with my mom, who has been also, I want to talk about that because it leads into my background and my story. It is my mom was a German mother, as I said, a German woman, and she has worked her way up in her life to become a leader. She became a leader of her area that she worked in before she stopped working for anybody, and then we founded our own cafe, right, with my knowledge and then her, of course, her wisdom in cooking and baking. We're both Cancer women. My mother is a Cancer and I am a Cancer, and we are the mothers of the zodiac and very masterful in all of the things pertaining to the home. So that's what I did. And also, coming from that white German mother, I have to say, I obviously grew up very liberal and very feminist, maybe even. My mom, as I said, was a working woman up into leadership. So I always assume that's it, that's the way it is. A confident woman who goes for what she wants. Money was being discussed in my household. We always had more than enough. I had a good childhood. I had a good teenage year. I always had whatever I needed, even more than enough. Like I always felt rich. We were upper middle class, let's say that, but I always felt very rich. So that was my upbringing. So me then, as I said, I went to uni, I traveled, international business, then later on into the corporate world. And then I realized, yeah, no, I want to do my own thing. It was still back and forth into corporate. Later on, it was um, sales. Yeah, sales, B2B sales, business expansion, field sales, like very confident leading, and also always getting my money, right? I think sales is still to this day one of the not only but one of the main areas where women and men um, earn the same, because it's based on provision, it's based on incentives, it's based on, what's the word, it's based on, yeah, what you do, you have to go get the money, right? You're basically, I think sales is the closest to being an entrepreneur in a corporation. So that's me, right? I am a very modern woman who went for education, higher education, very cultured from home, just having two cultures in my blood, being very savvy how to navigate between cultures, being very literate in intercultural communication, and yeah, being a traveled woman. I traveled alone, I traveled with friends, and I have then later on, I became a certified life mastery consultant, invested over 100,000 euros into my personal and professional development, and have been coaching celebrities, influencers, and very much conscious people who are very aware of what's going on in the world, capitalism, racism, patriarchy, right? Those topics, I'm very well aware of them. And I'm saying all of that to say that a woman like me, it took me almost 37 years to also fully release the programming of thinking that a man is the end of the self realization journey, because he's not. Like, I have let go of the idea of marriage, like legal marriage. No, I'm not going to do it, because, first of all, I am a very expensive woman, and my standard is very high, so I am only going to mix and mingle with affluent men. And I also don't need to marry them for my provision. No, you don't have to be my provider. You will definitely always give me money, but I am a sovereign woman. I make my own money by serving other women, by serving other women to elevate, to raise their vibration, to know the truth that a woman, a spiritually awake woman, realizes that she is the divine, right? Deconstructing patriarchy, deconstructing racism, deconstructing capitalism is all about coming back to the divine feminine. Patriarchy is a lie which impose the dominance of men on women, right? That the man is God, which is not true. Literally, a woman is a creator. So you can't fool us anymore, right? You can't fool me. And I'm here to educate more women. You can't fool us anymore. We are the divine feminine. I am the divine feminine. And you will have to come with offerings, still in the context of the man is not the end goal. You can have like multiple men, not sleep with them, but have them as suitors, as people. Of course, they want to drink from your well, they want to be of service to you. That is the kind of multiple men that I allow into my life, who can benefit me and my life and my purpose of enjoying myself, of furthering education, liberation for women and children. I am a feminist, and I am a divine feminine. I am here to understand, or I was here to understand, that I love myself. That is the end of the self realization journey. Climbing the hierarchy of needs and becoming self aware, self actualized, self transcendent, even. becoming my higher self, that is the goal. I have completed the mission to understand that the kingdom of heaven is within me, in my body as a divine feminine. That is the truth. And that is the kind of woman that I am. And it's not only to self glorify myself, but to whoever is watching this to say that it needs the decentering of men to center yourself, to put yourself on a pedestal, to center yourself as the fountain that you are in your life, because your energy, I always like to really symbolize it, not symbolize it, but to show your energy is the life force energy that comes through your womb into your body, through your throat, right? The chi is flowing. You understand that you're one with the universe. You understand that you're one with the infinite presence of life, which is here and now. That is what you understand. And you speak and you create from that energy. And that energy goes into your body, into your health, into your fitness, into your rejuvenation, into your beauty, into your glow, right? A divine feminine is always a beautiful woman, and that exudes into your relationships, right? Once you realize that you are of the purest, highest quality, you only accept someone and other people, friends, family, lovers, business partners on the same level, who come with a purity of heart, and clients who want to work, who actually desire and are willing and able to pay for your service. You have reached the pinnacle, and you continue to create from that pinnacle. You continue to create from that pinnacle. There is nowhere to go. You have arrived. I have arrived. That is the end of the journey of self realization. It's I am all. I am the divine. I am here and now, and I am going to continue to align my energy with creation instead of destruction, right? Creation, creating life through my words, through my programs, through my work, through helping other women get to the same level, and to continue to create more wealth, more beauty. That is wealth. That is literally wealth. That is wealth consciousness. That is true self realization. That is the sanctification of yourself. That is the end of the goal of self realization. So you're the center of your life. So you have to decenter men. Right? Decenter men means decenter the male God only, because even divinity, energy, is feminine and masculine. It is feminine and masculine, right? It's the being and the doing. It's the being and the doing. That is literally what is meant by divine feminine and masculine. It's being and doing. It's the flow of the yin and yang. It's the flowing, it's the energy, it's the being and the doing. You are divine and you do divine things. And divine means you create. You create life giving things, whether it is words, relationships, businesses, products, services. You create life. You give life to people. That is being a goddess. That is the end of self realization. Yeah. That is who you become at the end of the journey. It's not about marrying a man. Even divine union is not about marriage. It's not about marrying a man. It's to become whole. It's to understand that you are the divine marriage. You are one. You are everything. You are all. It's all in you. And then, of course, on a practical level, if you want to, as I said, if you want to align with a man, with a soul in a male body, it doesn't have to be through legal documents. Give me gifts in terms of land, of homes, of multi-story buildings, of real estate, of gold, of diamonds, of pearls, of crypto, of physical assets, intangible assets, You can give me all of that. You can sign a document, but I am not going to be owned by you, because that is what marriage comes from. Marriage is a patriarchal invention that is under the idea of the woman now belongs to the men, just like cattle and other belongings. But a goddess, it doesn't want to be owned by anybody. A self sovereign woman doesn't necessarily want to be owned by anybody legally. No, we don't have to, because we are owned by ourselves. I own myself. I own myself. Yeah. So if there's somebody who wants to serve me, who wants to be of service to my mission as a divine feminine, because as a divine feminine, I also like to say, as a divine feminine, you don't only say I'm a divine feminine. You are actually here of service by just by being you, the way you love yourself, the way you treat yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you move, what businesses you do, like how you enjoy your life. All of that is a demonstration of how a woman was actually designed to be. She was never designed to be a slave. The real divine, self realized woman, she's not a slave, she's not property. So she is fulfillment. Yeah. That is what I truly am here for, and that is what I am here to empower other women to do, to feel, right? And then from that understanding, from that awareness, you create your life, you create your body, you create your fulfillment, you create your joy, you create your peace, right? You self generate. You are a generator, a creator. And that's what you create in your life. That's true manifestation. You manifest yourself. Manifestation meaning manifesting yourself, understanding that you are spirit, you are energy, and your awareness, where attention goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, attention goes. You create your life from that understanding. You create your life from the awareness that you are pure awareness. That is the end of self realization. I could talk on and on because I love it. It's like being in trance, it's like being in flow for myself. I just love to say that. And if you want to create a life of true fulfillment, abundance, wealth, freedom, joy, happiness, health, radiance, that's all implied in that, right? If you want to create your own self, your higher self, your sovereignty, that's what I'm here for. Find my links in the bio, join my membership. I host a free live workshop weekly, the vision workshop, where I help you to assess the pain points in your life. What's actually going on in your life right now in all the different areas: health, relationship, career, and money, because everything that you've created up until now in your real life is what is your trauma, what you believe. That is the things that you truly believe, because what you believe is what you project out into the world. And once we work through that, you can create from a new perspective. As I just said, that is the goal. You manifest yourself, you self-realize, you become a goddess, you become a divine feminine, you have spiritual union within yourself. That is the marriage. That is marriage. The marriage of the two soul forces. It's not about marrying some dude, especially not some average basic dude. Awareness is power. Awareness is queen. And over here, it's all about power, winning, and creating a life you truly desire. So with that being said, I see you in the next one.